Okay, hello there, everybody. I know you can hear me. I'm trying to get my video on right now. Okay, I think I've got video. You guys can see me now? Hello there. And as we get started, I'm going to have to find out. Things have changed on go to meeting right now, so bear with me. I know you're all being patient, and I appreciate that. I have to locate Lisa so that I can make her able to answer your questions. So just give me one moment here. Um, okay, let's see if I can find her. And folks, while I'm talking, I want to welcome you all. You guys are just so wonderful and patient to be here waiting for me to get this straightened out. I can't tell you how I appreciate that. And I'm not seeing Lisa yet. She's probably waiting for me to be on so that she can join. And while I'm talking, waiting for Lisa, I want to just tell you guys how much I appreciate you. And also, in this moment, I appreciate the staff over at GoToMeeting because they're the ones who helped me to get on. Apparently, they're busy upgrading their program, and they forgot to upgrade mine because I use a very old version of this. So I'm going to just click off my camera so it doesn't distract me. And okay, Lisa has just arrived. And in just a moment, she'll be able to connect with you guys. Yay, now all is well. Okay, so I know that we have some new people here this evening. I've been just, usually I'm here before you are, and I can watch your names as you come on in, which is always wonderful. And tonight, you guys are here first, so you're watching Sandy deal with an emergency. Isn't this fun? You can certainly tell it's Halloween. Okay. And I'm sure you can see from my screen, I'm ready to have a really happy Halloween. This is my favorite time of year. And I'm absolutely super excited to get started this evening with our program. I've got a whole lot that I want to do with you guys. First, I want to tell you a little bit about what's going on, what's coming up, and you're going to want to be aware of that. And I also want to tell you a little bit about what's going on astrologically with this wonderful full moon that we actually had happen last night. And that moon is still full. When I got up this morning and I looked, there it was sitting above the horizon, so beautiful and full. And it was a chubby, big moon. So having this wonderful eclipse on the full moon that happens to fall 3 days before Hallowmas, which we know in today's world is Halloween here in the United States. This is a very powerful time of the year. Can't you feel it? So honestly, it was my fault tonight. I probably should have actually gotten on the webinar a half an hour early because frankly, when there's this much energy in the world, when things are like zzz, it tends to affect all of the electronics, doesn't it? And Lisa and I have been through this many times before, so I'm going to accept full responsibility for holding you folks up and keeping you waiting for about 15 minutes as we get started. So meanwhile, I want to give you lots of thanks for your patience, as I said. So once we get started, and I'm going to make some announcements first, but those of you who are familiar with my program that I do for free once a month here online, the Psychic Hour, and I have got the wrong webinar here. Don't you love it? How'd I do this? I clicked on the wrong thing. I'm having a day. So let me get into the right webinar. Hang on for a moment, folks. Look at this. Sandy can do this. Open. There we are. How do you like that? Okay. Just goes to show you what happens when life is full of surprises. Okay. This is what you call making it happen on the go. And once again, I want to thank you guys so very much for your patience with me this evening. And now this looks absolutely like the Psychic Hour. And so now we all know we're on the same program together, right? Okay, so when we get started with the readings I'm going to be doing this evening, what you're going to do is put your reading or put your question, you can do this at any time, into the question box, and either Lisa can answer it directly or she sees a lot of people answering the same question. She'll actually ask that question for you. So if you're shy and you don't want to talk on here, there's no reason that you still can't ask your question. Also, I have something I adopted about a year ago or so, and I'm still doing it and will continue to do it. If you stay with me until the end of this hour, and I don't call on you, or Lisa doesn't call on you, I'm still going to give you a chance to ask your simple question. If you type your question and address it either to the email on this program or to lisasainc@aol.com, simple question, I will be glad to answer that. Just give me a week or two to get back to you because I do have quite a few people on here that I will be answering. So that means that everybody who comes onto the webinar will get to ask a question of me and my guides. Now, also, please, even though I might be answering somebody else's question, please do pay attention when I'm answering that. When you work with me in these webinars, I'm the telephone and my guides are speaking through me. So and they know you're here. So even though I might be answering somebody else's question, I may very well be answering yours at the same time. So pay attention because my guides have a way of answering everybody here, giving them information that they need. Okay, so now if you get called on or if you send your question to me before 9 p.m. tomorrow evening, Eastern time, if you get called on or put your question in the email, you need to give me your first name, and you only need to tell me your first name here online because we're going to be public with this. I post this on my YouTube channel, so you definitely want to have your privacy. So just your first name. I want to know what your sun sign is. As you can see, I work with a horary chart. This is the astrology chart you see here this evening, which is cast for this time, this place, and this addresses all of your questions if you're here tonight. And then after tonight, we throw it away. The chart is only for you for tonight. So it answers your questions now. That's called a horary chart. So if you tell me what your sun sign is, I'm going to be able to find you in this chart, and I'll be able to give you information about you and what's going on for you, along with a lot of other people on the call. So that's one of the nice things about doing this kind of programming when I do this session that we're going to do this evening. So your name, your sun sign, what you're most grateful for in life right now. And I do that all the time. Every day I get up and I think about what I'm most grateful for. Folks, when we realign ourselves with those things that bring us joy, that we really feel good about in our lives, and we do that every single day of our life, that focuses our energy in a positive trajectory. So we begin to bring all those good things and even better things into our lives. So not only does it give the universe, our recognition that we know that these wonderful things are here. So it's a form of thanks, that gratefulness, but it's also changing our focus into something positive. So it has many, many reasons for being grateful. So I want to know the things that you're most grateful for, the thing in your life right now. And when we're all done with that, I want to know what your question is. So each one of you is going to have, who gets called on, is going to have a lot of information coming to you there. Okay, before we actually get started with our questions, and we will go a little bit later tonight, I'm going to tell you we'll end about 10:15 Eastern time because I did get started late with you, so you're not going to lose your time with me. And here's what I want to make as announcements to you. Okay, first of all, and I'm sure you've read them already on here twice because I had my VIP PowerPoint up here a few minutes ago, so you know what was going on for the VIP last Thursday night. That's great. You can go to my website, sandyanastasi.com, to sign up for all of my psychic hours, and that's where you went to sign up for this one. And sign up in advance because they do fill up. Download my app, folks. If you can't get online, you can always get online with the app. And in today's world where electronics are really iffy, I think having the app is a really, really great thing. And I do believe you're able to even do the active question, answer, and so forth with the app. It's very effective. So make sure you download that app. Now, also, I want you to utilize the open forum. My IT manager and I created that some time ago for you, okay? Because so many of the people who come to my psychic hour, who stop by my website, who visit me on my YouTube channel, don't have other people of like mind to talk to share with, to exchange their ideas with, to ask questions of, to talk about that spirit that they saw in their bedroom last night that everybody in their world would react not too well to if they shared it at home. So we folks in the psychic field, we need people of like mind to share our experiences with. And that's what the open forum is all about. I also wanted to point out to you that Jody has got this wonderful, wonderful piece of music that she posted a link to in the open forum on my website. That's again www.sandyanastasi.com. And when you get there, just click across the top library, because as soon as you had signed up for my newsletter, you automatically got invited into the open forum. You automatically got that. So you have it in your library as long as you signed up for my newsletter. So click on library, and when you open your library, click on open forum. Open community is what it'll say. And you'll go straight to the open community, and you're going to see Jody's link to a private YouTube audio video that she put up just for us. And what she did is Jody actually has a technique, very scientific, where she takes the vibration of a plant and creates music from it. And she has a musical piece from her stag waterfall giant sequoia tree seedling that she's growing that she made. It's about, I guess, 20 minutes to a half an hour long. And she made it just for us folks. So get on there and go and listen to it. I've been meditating to it all day. It is an absolutely wonderful piece of music, and you're listening to the vibration of a baby giant sequoia redwood tree. So that was a beautiful gift Jody's given to us, and I'm so grateful to be able to share that with you. Thank you, Jody. Now, my What's Happening in 2024 webinar, a lot of you have been hearing about that. Every year as we go into the late fall, I do my what's coming in the next year, psychic overview of the year. My guides and I work together on this. This webinar only happens once a year. It is phenomenal, folks. If you, like me and everybody else, because I'm listening as I do this webinar, the What's Coming webinar, I'm listening to what my guides are saying as it's coming through along with you, okay? And let me tell you, what they predicted for 2023 was absolutely amazing. Month by month by month by month, bam, they were right on. And you know, that webinar is still available, I think, for purchase at a very minimal price. So you'll be able to get last year's if you want it, but it's mostly run out because we're in the last couple of months of the year. But on November 16th at 7 p.m., I'm going to be doing the What's Coming in 2024 webinar for you, and it's only $25 to attend. So this is an extremely reasonable price. And what's more is that if you register by October 31st, next couple of days, I'm going to give you last year's predictions for free. Okay, so if you register for the November 16th What's Happening in 2024 webinar, you're going to get the last year's one for free. So you'll be able to listen to that and pick up a couple of pointers on November and December that are still in front of us now. And if you attend the webinar and you also buy my Year at a Glance 2024 reading that I also offer only at this time of year, and that it has very limited spots on it, you're going to get $25 off of the YAG. So essentially, that gives you the What's Happening webinar for free. Okay, and what'll happen is after that webinar is given, you'll get your $25 refund from the YAG reading, Year at a Glance reading that you registered for. And I'll tell you a little more about the YAG reading and what it is in a minute. Now, if you're a VIP member with me, my next coaching call is January 26th. We meet on that, I think 4 times a year. So our next call will be January 26th at 7 p.m. I hope to see you there. And our next psychic hour, the folks who are here and always do the psychic hours with me, our next psychic hour will be November 26th of 2023. Now, my specials, I'm listing my October specials in here too, because we still have a few days of October left. And so if these interest you, you can get in there and still get them. They haven't been taken down yet. My reading special for October is Vampires in Your Life And that's all about, where are you losing energy? Is it a person? Is it a thing? What is it in your life that's been draining your energy away? My guides and I are going to take a look at that, isolate it, figure out what it is, and give you a solution to it. And in addition, for purchasing that reading special at its normal price, you're going to get the free Dark Forces MP4 download. You get it for free. And that Dark Forces webinar is only available as part of my Evolution of Consciousness series, which is an expensive series to buy. It's got about, I guess, 16 or 18 different webinars, and it's a great series. But you cannot buy this Dark Forces webinar anywhere unless you get it as a gift from me or buy the Evolution of Consciousness whole series. So that's kind of important. Okay, when you purchase that reading, you get the Dark Forces webinar, which is going to help you to understand what I tell you in the reading. Okay, also my after death reading, I only do this once a year, folks. It's being offered at a $100 discount, so $550. So if you have somebody you're trying to get closure with, if you've got somebody who's passed in your life that you really want to know where they're at on the other side, are they okay? We are going to use astrology to be able to make the connection to find out everything that you need to know about their death, their dying, their experience, your connection to them now. And it's $100 off right now. And that is actually 2 readings. I do that reading in 2 parts. So you get to meet with me twice. We go over your chart, their chart, and their chart into the afterlife. We really do a lot of work on that one. It's a great reading. Only offered for $100 off 1 time a year. That's right now. Okay, the VIP drive is still going on. And if you join at the full year auto renew price, and you will get my Psychic Protection Tips program, the whole program for free. It's going to drip psychic protection tips out to you all year long, okay? And if you're a VIP already, you can ask a friend to join, and then you both will get it. Or again, if you're a VIP, you can get the program for $24.50, which is a big discount, about half discount of what that program normally costs. 4th, my psychic development. This is big, folks. I'm giving you an early enrollment opportunity for my Anastasi system of psychic development that begins in January. I believe it's on January 25th that it begins. Lisa will correct me in the chat if I'm wrong on that date. The regular price on that is $3,000. Right now, I'm beginning an early enrollment period, which is going to let you purchase that program for only $2,225 in 1 payment, or you can do 3 payments of $741.67 a month. If you're a repeat student, folks, you get your best discount. So if you've taken the program before but you want to repeat it, it's only $1,500 for the whole program. Folks, this is an unbelievable price. The program runs from January through May. So it's a 5 or 5.5 month program. It has 6 levels, all 6 levels of my psychic development series that takes you from a rote beginner to a professional level psychic, if that's what you would choose to be. It teaches you to utilize all of your psychic skills, to be able to open them and close them at will, to control them, to be able to utilize them in your daily life, as well as professionally, if you should want to do that. It also teaches the lower psychic skills like telepathy and psychic development and empathy and clairvoyance, clairaudience. It teaches all those skills, but it also teaches channeling and mediumship. So it gives every aspect of psychic development. So if this is something you've been considering doing, I only offer that program once a year, and the early enrollment period for it is also only available once a year. You're here, you're hearing this. If you've been thinking about doing it, now's the time to do it and to get this discount. This discount gives you almost 1 full program. Each one of these programs goes for 3 weeks, has 6 lessons within it. So you've got 6 levels with 6 lessons in each level. And there is also a bonus of Seeing Beyond the Veil, where we actually talk about what's going on the other side. This is a comprehensive program. It's like a college program in psychic development. Okay, now looking at what's coming up in November, My year at a glance reading, I mentioned that earlier. That special is back, and it's only $300. Folks, when I say you need to sign up now, I'm not kidding, okay? Those spots are already, I opened it up early this year. I opened it up in December because every year we run out of spots. We can only open it for January and February because frankly, once you get past February, you're already too far into the year for it to make a whole lot of sense to be able to get this blow by blow what's happening for you in your life each month for the next year, which helps you to better plan your life for that year, okay? So normally we only open it in January and February. This year I said, Lisa, let's open it in December. So we actually opened it for people to get their reading in December, and I think those spots are already gone. That's how fast they're going. So if this is something that you want, and I have clients that have been with me for 30 years or more and get their year at a glance reading every year, and by doing so, they have a much healthier, happier, more fulfilling life because they aren't getting taken by surprise by those left hooks anymore that life tends to throw us. They know what's coming on a month-by-month basis. They have an idea of what direction in their life it's coming from, whether it's good or bad, whether it would be good for them to react to it or not. Oh God, we can go into so much detail with it. It's a great way to launch your year. So if that interests you, that is a $300 reading. It only comes up at this time of year, and you got to sign up now, otherwise you're not going to get a spot, okay? My VIP drive is still on all through November, and when you sign up for it, you're going to get the What's on the Other Side MP4 webinar, so I'm changing out the gift you get. Or if you're a VIP and you want to just buy that MP4, you can do that for $10. It's one of the perks you get as a VIP. And again, my early enrollment for the psychic development course continues through November, okay? What's happening is that your payment schedule will be a little bit higher as we get, because I think there's still room in November to have 3 payments, and then as we move into December, it has to be divided into 2 payments. So we'll run this early enrollment special through December. But I'm going to encourage you to enroll as early as possible, both because it extends how long you've got to make your payments, so your payments are smaller, and also, folks, because it's going to fill up. My psychic development programs, I do not overload because I'm working with you along with Lisa on a nearly one-on-one basis. It's pretty amazing. You can go into the open community if you want, or even right here, and you can ask questions of your fellow students tonight, your fellow viewers, and say, hey, have you done the psychic development program? What do you think of it? That program has trained some of the most famous, well-known professional psychics in the world, along with many, 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 many thousands and thousands of people who just utilize their psychic abilities in their day-to-day life to augment their life and make every aspect of their life better. So get to know who you really are as you open and explore your psychic potential. Okay, I've taken up enough of your time. The rest of the evening is yours. Lisa, who is our first person who's got a question for me?
I had to find my mouse. It's been a really weird day. I'm telling you, the full moon, the Halloween energy, and the solar eclipse has just really turned my world upside down this weekend.
Lisa, can you turn your mic up a little bit? You're like way out there in the distance where we can barely hear you.
Does that help?
Not much. I'm going to turn it up on my end. We might be getting it might be okay on everybody else's end. I'm just not hearing it real clearly here. Hang on.
Because I have the same setting I always use.
Okay. I turned you up on my end. Talk again.
I said I'm on the same setting I always use.
Okay, it was me then. I had my voice on my end turned down. So folks, if you have turned your audio up to hear me, then now you're gonna have to turn it back down because I just turned it up. Okay, Lisa.
Your voice didn't change any.
Okay.
First victim for tonight Very appropriate name for the craziness. I'm calling on Hope.
Hello, Hope.
Hope, you're unmuted. Can you unmute on your end?
Hi there.
Hi there, Hope. I love your name.
Thank you.
And Lisa's correct. At this time in our world, man, you are so needed. Hope, first of all, let's go back over what I'm asking for you. First, we have your name, and where are you calling from?
Roanoke, Virginia.
Oh, beautiful, beautiful area. I love it. Is it getting cold up there yet?
No, it's been in the 80s the last couple of days, but we're gonna have a big change come Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm here. I'm down in Florida getting ready to feel chilly too. But
Yeah,
I'm not quite as cold as you are. And what are you most grateful for in your life right now?
that I always have what I need.
Oh, beautiful. Folks, that Hope, let me take just a moment of your time here because this is important. Folks, the universe has an unlimited quantity of everything. It has no limitations. So in our world, when we feel that there's scarcity of anything, that scarcity has to do with things that we have created or that we feel is there. And so guess what? When you go with the flow, and I think that's what Hope was really talking about. When you go with the flow, when you just know in here that what you need is going to be provided, it always is in spades. And sometimes you didn't even know you needed it and it appears. Isn't that true, Hope?
Yes,
Yeah. So thanks for sharing that with us. And Hope, what sun sign are you?
Capricorn.
Okay, love my Capricorns. Hey, you know, Pluto has here's Pluto up here in our chart tonight.
Yep.
And if you notice, that sign is Capricorn, right? See my cursor? That sign it's in is Capricorn, that's Pluto. Well, Pluto has gone direct. It did that during the last month. And all a tiny little bit of the seventh house, which is about relationships, and almost all of the eighth house, which is about money. Okay, a lot of us are thinking about it right now, is in the Capricorn energy. Okay,
Yep.
and of course, Pluto, which is transforming and transformative, is at the very tail end, is at 28 degrees of Capricorn. Since there are only 30 degrees in a sign, by the time we get to the end of January of 2024, Pluto is going to move out of Capricorn and into Aquarius. And Hope, aren't you happy?
Yes, because I'm wearing my moon right now. I'm
Yeah.
done with Pluto.
Yep. Well, Pluto is a slow moving planet, folks, and Pluto has been in Capricorn for 20 years. Okay. And during 20 years, everybody you know who's a Capricorn, a Cancer, a Libra, or an Aries has gone through changes that are absolutely mind boggling.
Yep.
You guys in the cardinal signs, that's what Aries and Libra and Cancer and Capricorn are. They're the zodiac's cardinal signs. And you folks that are in cardinal signs, you know you've been up the roller coaster and down it and swirled around it, and you've gone on the Ferris wheel. You have been in the amusement park, only it hasn't always been amusing for the last 20 years. What Pluto does, folks, and this is a good time for me to tell you, Hope, because you can share. Pluto has a way of giving you everything that you thought you wanted, and then it makes you really, really, very, very clear on why those weren't really good choices. Okay. And by the time you're done with Pluto, you no longer want to control anything in your life. You no longer want to, hang on to something forever. Nope, nope. You just want to go with the flow. So, folks, the people in your lives who are the cardinal signs, who used to be one personality like 20 years ago, they're a whole different personality now. Okay. And a lot of them, not all of them, but a lot of them are saying, this has been a fun time at the amusement park of life, but I think I'm ready to pass Pluto on to the Aquarians and the Scorpios and Leos and Taurians, because that's where Pluto is heading next. In January, on January 26th, Pluto's going to move into Aquarius, where it'll be for 19 years. Okay, and all of the Capricorns can and all the other cardinal signs can get back to living their normal, ordinary lives. So what are some of the things it's transformed? It's transformed your family and your attitude towards family. It's transformed your attitude towards money and stuff. It's transformed your attitude towards everything from government to corporations to religion to big groups and you name it. You no longer feel the same way about anyone or anything in your life, do you?
My life has completely changed.
Yeah,
Yeah. I don't resemble the same person that I
yeah.
used to be.
Now you still have the core of you. You still
Right.
have your strengths and your personal power and your personal beliefs. That's not different. You're still who you are. But the outer world, you have a totally different take on it than you used to.
Oh,
And
yes.
guess what? That when a transit's that long and that slow, it totally changes us.
Yes.
And so you're not going back to that old you. You're gonna charge ahead with the new you. But what's so interesting is that it's a new you that's now free. And folks, what this chart is showing us, I'm going to show you right now in the chart itself, Pluto and the sign Capricorn are making a hard aspect that's a square to the south node in Libra, and it's also making a square to the north node and Chiron in Aries. So there's an enormous amount of healing going on right now for all those cardinal signs. Things that were ripped apart in your lives are now coming back together. Not the same way they were, but in a whole new way, in a way that you have to kind of allow them to flow forward. A new world is creating itself for you, which is really kind of cool. Now, anytime there's a T-square, the open end of the T-square, which is over here in the second house, is where all the energy goes. So, folks, if you are an Aries, a Capricorn, a Libra, or a Cancer, the energy right now is flowing into the sign Cancer and the second house in this chart. That second house is all about your own earning ability, your own talents, your own ability to handle your finances, to plan your world. And so if you're the Aries, the Capricorn, or the Libra, right now you're really focusing enormous amounts of energy into your own skills, maybe starting a business, maybe looking at how you have wanted to handle things, stepping forward, saying, okay, I'm doing it my way now and making this happen. If you're a Cancer, you may be feeling a little bit like the workhorse because it's like everybody is saying, okay, it's your turn now, and you're feeling like the weight is really being placed on you. This holiday season, we're going into the fall of the year, and from Halloween on through Thanksgiving and Hanukkah and Christmas and Kwanzaa and all the rest of these wonderful holidays at this time of year, I always feel like this is our time really for gathering with family. And if we don't have a family we're close to, a family of choice or our fur babies, all of us have some kind of a family, even if it's the family that you celebrate with your television and your internet buddies. But this is a time of year when all of you cardinal signs are going to be pulling together and creating a new, get this, a new pattern of family, a new pattern, new cycles, new things, new memories. This is new stuff. This isn't things that have happened before. Okay. So, what is your big question, Hope?
Is there anything I need to know moving forward that I might be not seeing?
I love that. And you know, this is odd. I was expecting my guides to say, nope, Hope, you're really on it. You see it all. Okay. But they're telling me that there's something here you're not seeing, and it is relative to health. Okay. Um, and I don't feel like this is you. I feel like it's somebody who's close to you. So you're going to have some choices and decisions to make here. I'm feeling, this is more feeling than working with anything else, but I'm feeling it's a woman, and that this is, it could be a man, but I'm feeling more of a female energy. Um, if the male is the one who's sick, then the female attached to him is the one that you might be more concerned with, because the energy I'm feeling is a female energy, but the one who actually has the illness might be the male. At any rate, this feels like a long-term issue that could curtail activity, and maybe a person has to go through a lifestyle choice here. I think this is going to be very important for you because you have one knowledge, expertise, if you will, that can help that person or their family to be able to move through this time period where the health is a problem a lot easier. And where the decisions come in, Hope, you're going to have to set some boundaries. You're very good at that now. You didn't used to be. And
Yes.
you're going to have to determine where you want to be at help. Notice how I said want, okay? Not where they expect you to help that you have to fulfill, but where you want to be of help that you can fulfill, okay? And
Okay.
those are the areas that you will reach out and you can really make a difference and it'll feel good to you. But the areas where you can see a long-term, they've got a hook in me and I'm just bleeding to death. You've been through that. And you're going to say no to those things, and it's okay to say no. That's where the boundaries come in.
Okay.
And I've got to tell you, you're going to make a difference. You will make a big difference here. Okay.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. And I think with that, Lisa, we're on to our next caller.
All right, our second little victim tonight is going to be Yvonne or Yvonne, could go either way. And you're unmuted. Well, you are unmuted. Can you unmute yourself? There you go.
So is it Yvonne or is it Yvonne?
It's Yvonne.
Yvonne. Okay.
Yvonne.
It's a pleasure to meet you. And it's a beautiful name. I love that name.
Thank you.
So where are you calling from, Yvonne?
I'm calling from Lorton, Virginia.
Wow, right around the corner. Okay.
The other end of the state.
Yeah, you're not far from where my sister used to live. She was many years. She was in Sterling, Virginia. So not
yes.
all that far away. Yeah.
Yes,
Beautiful,
no.
beautiful area. Lovely. And yes, you're about to get some cold weather. I'm not envious of you at all.
No.
But then, at this time of year, the part of you I am envious of is the beautiful fall leaves, the changes coming in now. It's just gorgeous. And
Yes.
have a happy Halloween because I know you guys really know how to do Halloween up there. You have all those pumpkin farms and you name it. My
Yep.
nephew used to climb the pumpkin mountain, and I don't know if you have one of those up there, but they were all over Sterling, Virginia, and I used to love to go with them. So, Yvonne, what are you most grateful for in your life right now?
Well, it's funny. I'm most grateful for the relationships, the positive relationships that I have with my family and friends and that. But it's funny that you had mentioned about the colors of the leaves. I actually literally was just when my husband and I went to dinner, I was looking across the river and just I really was just grateful for the beauty of the trees that were across there. So it's funny that you kind of brought that re-brought that memory to me when you mentioned that. So
Yeah, I could feel it all around you. It's a good memory. It really is. It's a special memory.
Grateful for the beauty.
Yeah. And what is your sun sign? These
I'm a Gemini.
questions.
I'm a Gemini.
Okay, like me, I'm a Gemini too.
Yeah.
Okay. As a Gemini, we are mutable signs. Okay. And if you're a Gemini, a Pisces, a Virgo, or a Sagittarius, what I'm about to say is going to pertain to you. So pay attention, folks. Okay. First of all, in this chart, Gemini is right over here at the ascendant. And we have 15 degrees on the 14 degrees and 32 minutes on the ascendant here. So half of the sign is in the 12th house, which is all about your unconscious world. Everything from your sleep world, so you might be sleeping more than usual, to to daydreams that you have when you're awake, to things that maybe are in your subconscious that are pressing your buttons and getting you a little uncomfortable with things. Okay, it's this unconscious part of you that's very close to the surface right now. And the other half is in the first house, which for the Geminis says, it's my turn. I want this to be about me right now. Okay. And if you remember, Pisces ties in here. And so a lot of this stuff you're focusing on, you want to count, you want to be counted. A lot of it has to do with career because we have Saturn and Neptune both up here in the house of career. Those are the other two mutable signs, right? And absolutely amazing. It says that relative to future developments in your career, if you're a mutable sign, you're going to have to follow your heart. follow your intuition. Things sometimes will feel like they're not the way mom and dad would expect you to do them. But if your inner self says, I need to move in this direction, you need to move in that new direction. Okay. This says it is time to put down your roots in perhaps a new profession or a new field, stick to your guns, but don't expect it to be the same. You're going to have to do a lot of maneuvering to get what you want and where you want career-wise. And the other mutable sign over here, opposing those Pisces planets being Venus, you're going to have beautiful, wonderful times this holiday season at home with your family and your friends. This Venus in the 4th house for the mutable signs is just wonderful. It really talks about the holiday season and the home environment right now. You know, you talked about the leaves and the beautiful world around you that you're noticing, and that is going to define most of your fall and moving into the early winter. This is going to be a great season for you. So I'm excited about that. And if you're building something, especially because Venus is in Virgo, if you're building something, or if you're doing a lot of cleaning out right now, people seem to be doing a cleaning out, throwing things out, like that spring cleaning, only it's happening in the fall. You're going to find that as you go through those piles of things, you find some things that are irreplaceable that you really, really love in there that may be memorable of some of the people you have loved who are now gone. Okay. And the other mutable sign, which is Sagittarius, is on the 7th house cusp. And notice there are no planets in Sagittarius. So guess what? Sagittarius, right now, you're the workhorse for the mutable signs. Okay. That's where we're putting all of that energy. We're saying, oh, guess what? It's time to be flexible. It's time to study things, to get a new perspective on them. It's time to travel. You might find yourself traveling for the holidays, or finding people traveling to visit you. And I'm not talking about coming around the block, but halfway across the country or even the world. And that's all because on that 7th house cusp is Sagittarius. And a lot of you people are also looking at your close relationships right now, the mutable signs, and you're saying, you know, I love you dearly. You've been my friend for a long, long time, but we just don't have a whole lot in common anymore. So maybe we need to shift a little bit. We can still know each other, but let's shift. Maybe we don't need to see each other every day or talk to each other every day, i.e. you're kind of looking at those close relationships and saying, you know, it's time maybe for something new to come into my life, to spend maybe more time with this other person or this other thing that I'm involved with that brings me more joy. And it's okay. I can be flexible about that older relationship. Okay. How am I doing so far?
Good. It's funny you say the new career kind of thing. I actually retired about 18 months ago, and I am actually in that thought mode of what am I doing next? So I've been doing a lot of thinking of what's coming up next and what direction am I taking and what am I doing?
Well, one of the things that might help you, okay, and I don't know what field you retired from, but remember the open end of this T-square for the mutable signs is Sagittarius, and half of Sagittarius is in the 6th house, which talks about day-to-day life and your things that you do for the day-to-day life. You know, I don't know if your situation in life is, wow, I need to get a second job because the retirement income doesn't quite make ends meet. That could be the situation. But whether it is or not, right now, you would really do well in some kind of either service or healing industry, okay? And if you have the skills to do it on the side as for your own ability, you could even move, I'm gonna go out on a limb here, but you could even easily go into working with, you know, your psychic ability and actually do some healing. If you could learn massage therapy and do healing through your hands, or you could work with people and do some coaching or counseling with them relative to your old field where you were very knowledgeable. Okay, so there are things that you can do here that will be of great service to people and give you a lot of satisfaction. And either you can volunteer, or if you need the money, you'd have to either find a place to work for as a second, career, or perhaps even begin your own business. And so you've got some choices out there, but they're good ones. Okay.
Interesting also, I've actually, in the last 6 months or so, I've actually been learning tarot. And
Ah,
my tarot teacher actually wants me to start learning to read for others.
okay, there you have it. Okay. And you see, I see what we do in the psychic field as very much a healing and a service industry. So I would definitely lump that into what you're talking about.
And
And
I
I'd
was
say
and I
that
was a
that's feedback.
pharmacist previously. So
Yeah. And based on this chart, you have the psychic ability. The tarot cards are opening it in spades. It's coming up brilliantly. And I think maybe one of the things that holds you back a little bit is being a perfectionist, you see. Um, you know, I'm going to show you where the Venus opposing this Saturn and Neptune, something inside of you says, well, I shouldn't be reading for other people until I'm a master tarot reader. See?
yes,
And you're going to have to get past that, because here's how this works. Folks, listen up, because this is affecting a lot of you. My guides are saying this is a lot of you are in on the same problem she has here. When you're a beginner at something and you're working with other people, you attract people who are coming to you as clients who are also beginners. So you see, as a beginning level tarot reader, you're attracting beginning level readers. And because of that, you're able to connect better with one another. You understand?
yeah,
So you don't have to be expert at this point. What'll happen is, as your skills improve, and they will very quickly in leaps and bounds, because the tarot for you is really developing your intuition. And as your skills improve, you're going to start to attract clients who have been to many other readings and they know more of what to expect. And it's interesting, as your skills improve, your clients and their knowledge and their ability to work with you will improve. So don't let, oh, wow, I'm not perfect yet. I don't know enough yet. I'm not a master yet. Don't let that hold you back. Just jump in. And right now is the time. I've been telling my own tarot students, I've been telling my VIP people who have been studying all these psychic development things, this is Halloween. People want to go to parties. Jump in, jump in. If there's a New Age store near you, or a spiritualist church, or if the local women's club says, oh dear, we don't know what to do to entertain our members, say, I can come with my tarot cards. Okay,
okay.
jump in and do it. Now's the time. Now's the time. Okay. Very good, very good. What I get here is that you are gonna be very successful with this. You're a great communicator. You're able to get the information that's coming through your cards or your guides and communicate it to your client. You're gonna find this very, very satisfying.
Good,
Enjoy.
good, good.
Thank you. And Lisa, I think we can be ready for our next person now.
I may have missed it, but did you ask Yvonne or Yvonne what her question was?
Yeah,
Because she
I think
had
I
a very
did.
specific question tonight.
Did I ask you your question? Or maybe I answered it.
I actually did have a separate specific question, but it's funny, you kind of answered with the things that have been going on in my head of what I should be doing. So you answered kind of what was in my head. But my actual question that I had is more to do with psychic and reincarnation. I know, once people pass, we get signs from them. I very much get a lot of signs from people that have passed. My question is if when they have been reincarnated, do we no longer get signs from them? I mean, I've got some
That's an
out
interesting.
there that I don't seem to get the signs from that I used to get all the time.
Yeah, that's an interesting question. I have a class that's in my VIP on audio, and if you take the psychic development class with me in January, I teach it live. It's called the Seeing Beyond the Veil class, where I go into this question in a lot of detail. But the simple answer is that we leave footprints on the other side. So even though we can be recycling in and out, each one of our past lives has left footprints, okay? So it's possible to go in as a psychic and get information from a person in spirit who's no longer there because they've reincarnated. It is possible to do that. And that happens. And the way you would know that, if you connect with somebody who isn't still in spirit, they can only tell you about the past. They can only tell you things that are memories. They cannot give you, oh, I see you now and what you're doing in your life. In
Okay.
order for that person to communicate to you with symbols, in order for them to tell you, yes, I see what you're doing and it makes me feel good, continue to do more. In order for them to actually be your rooting gallery, if you're to have that connection that makes you feel warm and fuzzy with them there all the time, they need to still be in spirit.
Okay. Because
Okay.
I just have someone who I really feel has reincarnated. I still have connection to them, but it's just it seems totally different, and the signs that I used to rely on are just not there.
Right.
But
Well, what you're getting now is that footprint that was left behind.
yeah.
So
Okay.
you still connect and you have shared memories from the past that will still be there, and there'll still be things you can connect with, and a medium might still connect with them, and unless they're very practiced, they might really feel like they're connecting with the actual spirit when it's really just a memory that's been left behind. So
Okay.
that's how the reincarnation works. Okay, that was a great question.
Okay.
Thank you.
Great. Thank you.
And you're welcome. And good luck with everything. You're going to do very, very well. Have a lot of faith in yourself. Okay. And Lisa, who is our next victim? I can use that word.
Another victim. I love the victims. Halloween victim is going to be Michelle. Michelle, can you unmute yourself?
Michelle Zucker?
Yes.
Okay, because I think there are two of us here.
So, Michelle, where are you calling from?
I'm from Iowa.
Oh, wow.
And
You are way out there and you're cold already.
yes, we are cold already.
Yes. Okay. And what are you most grateful for in your life right now?
My husband, who has been a great support system for me.
Awesome. Oh, I love that. Gives me warm fuzzies. I love that. Thank you so much for sharing. And
And
Michelle, what's your sun sign?
I'm a Cancer.
Okay, one of my favorite signs. Remember, I just talked about the cardinal signs. You're the workhorse right now. Doesn't it feel that way?
Yes.
No, the good part of this, that this guy up here, Pluto, by the, you're still going to have a lot of that, pressure around you through the holiday seasons. You're going to have to stay on your toes. You're developing all kinds of talents and skills and abilities right now because you have to. Okay, and you're doing it. You're right up there with what you need to do. But by the time we get to the end of January and Pluto moves out of that cardinal axis and into Aquarius, oh, Michelle, you're going to feel like you can breathe again for the first time in 20 years. Now, the good part of what you've learned over the last 20 years, and I'm going to come right out and say it, you're a medium, aren't you? Come on, be honest. Michelle, can you hear me? Lisa, are we offline?
Hang on just a
Hello?
second, Sandy.
Yeah, I think I've lost
Wait a
Michelle.
minute. She said she's muted. Let me
Okay,
I can unmute her again.
okay.
There you go.
Okay.
It should be open again.
Thank you.
Okay.
Actually, I'm a teacher.
Yeah, you're a medium too, aren't you?
Well, I'd like to develop that, that's for sure.
The reason I'm saying this, Michelle, is that Pluto has gone through the last 19 years opposing your sun sign, okay? And so you're hearing people and things from the other side, could be your guides, could be people who passed on, people in spirit. You've been hearing them, you've been seeing them, you've been getting them in your mind for 20 years. Okay. A lot of people around you have passed during that time period. They might have just moved to another part of the country, but a lot of them have also passed. There's been a lot of loss around you. And those people aren't gone. Okay. So the reason I know I kind of threw that at you, that, you're a medium. A lot of times, folks, people don't even realize that they have those skills and abilities, but this is something that has been developing in you for a 19, 20-year period. So I know it's there. If you're a Cancer, folks, period, what I'm saying, not just Michelle, if you're a Cancer, your ability to connect with the unseen world has gone through the roof. Now, in a positive way, all those kids that you're teaching, this has allowed you to make much stronger connections to them, hasn't it?
Yes, I have.
Yeah. So you have a class and you know automatically which students need more help, which students have home problems, which students are going to act out, that the first day of class. Okay. So your students are dealing with a very highly, I don't know if I want to say trained, maybe you've got the training too, but a very highly developed intuitive teacher. And when you say you would like to learn your mediumship, Michelle, you've already got it. Okay. Because half of the information you're receiving is coming from the people on the other side who are giving it to you. Okay.
Yes. And I
And
think that trusting myself or trusting what I hear or understand has been kind of slow, but I have been getting some of those messages. I just haven't, I thought maybe I was being biased or something like that, but yeah, I need to trust.
you need to trust. Okay. And it's interesting because just in general, if this whole process has taught you to trust yourself, to trust your intuition, to trust your feelings, oh, it's been worth its weight in gold, Michelle. Because too many of us miss out on so many opportunities in life because we don't have self-trust, right? So this has been a whole self-trust thing as well. And I think, don't I sound like I'm parroting your husband right now? Yep. Okay, Michelle, what is your specific question?
My question is regarding my mother, and I know I've asked questions before, but it's been very difficult as she's had dementia and she's very stubborn. And so I was wondering if you could kind of foretell into the future, or just
Yeah, Michelle, it's such a difficult situation. My heart goes out to you and to anybody else on the call who's in the same situation. It's very, very hard. Um, Alzheimer's, dementia it has become epidemic in our society. And we're just beginning, we're just at the beginning stages right now of looking at ways to handle the healing and the ability to make life better for those people with dementia. But we have done very little for the families. And so not only does dementia, Alzheimer's cause a tremendous amount of grief for the person, obviously, who has it, but the families of Alzheimer's victims pay and pay and pay and pay and pay and pay for years, and it's very difficult. Michelle, I'm going to be real blunt in the interest of time because we're starting to run out of it here. But is mom home with you, or is she in a facility?
no, she still lives at her own home, and my brother stays over there several times a week and kind of takes care of some of the housekeeping and stuff like that. But we want to move her into a home.
Yeah, and here's the problem, and I'm going to be very blunt, folks, because if there's something that you want to put your energy into in terms of helping the world in general, helping people who have dementia, Alzheimer's, and their families, that's one of those places that we really need people who want to serve and want to help. Um, Unfortunately, when we have a person with Alzheimer's in their own home, as their mental faculties go, your mom, I'm going to be blunt, your mom is maybe not as well off in her own home in terms of her own potential future and longevity and the things that are going to cause her trouble, because she's going to become progressively more dysfunctional and less able to handle and take care of herself. Okay. There will come a time in her own home where you are going to need to give her 24/7 care. And if your brother can't supply it, it's going to have to be paid for by you and your brother, because I don't feel like your mother has the financial capability of doing that. So you could move your mother to a facility where she's cared for. She will live longer in that facility because they will care for her. And your mother doesn't seem to have the health problems that are going to say, okay, you have dementia, but you're also dying of a heart problem. She doesn't seem to have that. So she can live for quite a long time, okay? So if you do put her into a facility, you're going to need to find a facility that isn't going to drain your pocketbook and your brother's pocketbook and every cent your mother has dry, okay? And I'm sure that you're willing to sell your mom's house and put every cent she's got into her care. Her care would take all of it. And when they're done, they would put her into a situation where she's now on basically Social Security. She would live that long, I think. My guides are saying she would. And you and your brother wouldn't want her in that demoted level. So now it would start draining your finances. This is a difficult situation. And there really aren't a lot of good solutions to it, because healthcare for elderly people with Alzheimer's is extraordinarily expensive. It begins at about $4,000 a month. So it's something to keep in mind. I give your brother a lot of credit for the work that he's doing. The problem is, from what I see, he's not going to be capable of doing this a lot longer. You know, the problem with somebody with Alzheimer's is through their stubbornness. And there are a lot of traits that develop, paranoia and fear, and I'm not going to go into them, but there are a lot of psychological traits that develop that make it very, very hard on the caretakers. Okay. So your brother might end up having to quit his job and give up his entire life to take care of mom until she passes in order to make this all work out. You and he have to have this discussion, and you probably need to talk to some healthcare professionals in the Alzheimer's dementia area to understand better what your mother's prognosis is and what she's going through over time. It'll help you to deal with her better. I hope some of that helped, Michelle. And I hope it helped some of the other people on the call. This is huge. Every family, Michelle, right now, every family has at least one person who is succumbing to dementia or Alzheimer's.
Do you have a time frame of when that might be, or?
You want to know when, what part? Well, I said a lot of things. When, which thing might?
She might move, or she might pass.
Okay, you want to know, will she pass anytime in the near future? My guides are saying there will be an opportunity for her passing. Okay, and this is interesting because your father has passed, isn't he?
Yes.
Yeah, and you know, he is on the other side waiting for her. There will be an opportunity around the holidays for her to pass. And I'm not seeing clearly whether that's going to be because she has a fall, which is very common, or has another, it'll be some kind of an injury or something that happens in that sense. And Dad will be there waiting for her. The problem is your brother is here holding on to her and feeling like it's his responsibility to make her comfortable and to keep her physically well until the day she dies of some other natural cause. So I can't tell you that she's going to die around the holidays. I see an opportunity to cross around the holidays. If she survives that opportunity, she could, you know, she could kind of get a new burst of energy and go on for quite some time after that.
Because I think that she feels like, I think that she feels she wants to go.
Yeah. You know, it's an interesting thing with Alzheimer's, okay? Anybody who gets Alzheimer's will tell you, I don't know why I'm here anymore. It's time for me to go, when they're still cognitive before they lose their recognition of people. And yet there's another part of them that their physical body itself holds on for dear life. And it's very interesting when you start to study the illness. A lot of people with Alzheimer's go on and their mind is long since gone, but they're still breathing, they're still alive, and they're still able to find joys and little things. Michelle, because you have the mediumship ability that you have, you are able to connect with that part of mom that's thinking out here, that's thinking in the energy field of mom. You follow? So you're able to make that connection and know, yeah, I know my mom really wants to be with my dad. She's ready to go. But she also feels responsible to your brother. She feels like he's put so much time and effort into making things, so she's got to be there for him. And she also, you know, we have this thing where we are taught no matter what, we have to take that next breath. No matter what, we have to hang on to life. And I think, unfortunately, as somebody gets deeper into Alzheimer's, they're still remembering that part. You know, they still know that they have to be able to wake up in the morning. They've got to be able to take that next step, take that next breath. So they can be around for a very long time unless they develop an injury or develop a physiological problem like a heart problem or diabetes. But those, again, can be long-term illnesses. When I ask, will mom die in 2023, I get the probability is no. When I ask, will she die in 2024, I get there's a very good possibility of it. So whatever happens around the holidays, if your brother kind of steps aside and lets it unfold and is able to get past his own guilt about it, she may pass in 2024. And what your dad says, you're going to laugh, is he can't wait to see her again. Okay? You know, Abraham Hicks says, there is no death. You're alive here, and then you're alive there. There is no death. It's just different dimensions. It's different spaces that we're in. And your dad is waiting for your mom.
Yes.
And
Well, thank you very much.
you're welcome. Good luck with everything, Michelle. And have a happy, happy holiday season.
You
Okay?
too. Thank you.
Thank you. And, you know, I think this might be a very good time to end our webinar this evening. Remember, if I did not get a chance to answer your direct question, you can send that question to either Lisa at lisasainc@aol.com or to me at the address on this webinar. I'll get it either way. Give me a couple of weeks to answer it. Make sure I have your name, what you're grateful for, your birthday or your sun sign. I need your sun sign. And your simple question. And armed with that, you're going to get a nice answer. Okay. Good luck, everyone. Thank you so much for your patience with me. And I'll be back next month in November on the 26th, right after Thanksgiving, and we can do this all over again. What fun. Bye-bye. We'll see you then. Have a great rest of your month.